Some of the best stories out there, they really hinge on one perfect scene. But how do they do it? How do they build an entire world, a sense of suspense and belief in just a few short pages? Well, today, we're going to tear one of those scenes apart, piece by piece, to see how a true masterclass in dread is built from the ground up.
And it all kicks off with just one line of dialogue. Before we even really get into it, this one sentence from a quiet driver does so much work. It immediately sets a tone of isolation, of secrets, of a world where people disappear on purpose, or instantly hooked, and, just a little bit on edge.
Okay, so let's start with the setup. This is where the scene wastes zero time introducing us to the character, this incredibly unsettling setting, and the core mystery that's going to drive everything that follows.
What's so cool here is how the atmosphere is built before anything explicitly supernatural even happens. The author uses these really specific, grounded details, right? A road that feels like it's closing in on you, the radio cutting out, that classic loss of connection, a house that feels ancient, and a dog that doesn't even bark. He just watches. It all comes together to create this palpable sense of being completely cut off. You feel it, right? Alongside the protagonist.
And then, bam, this line drops. This is the moment where that vague, creepy feeling of the setting connects directly to our character, Candy. It's not just that the place is spooky anymore. It's that she's here, because she is totally isolated in her own fear and nobody else gets it.
And just like that, the problem is on the table. The story has officially moved from just creepy vibes to a tangible, personal threat. We're talking about dreams that feel real and that terrifying feeling of being constantly watched by something you can't see. The stakes have just been set.
So with the problem laid out, the narrative does something really clever. It shifts gears. We're moving away from just fear and into an investigation, an almost procedural search for what's really going on.
And this is the main tool they're going to use. Instead of just some vague magic, the story presents its supernatural element as a clear, purposeful method. By defining the past life reading like this, it makes the whole fantastic idea feel grounded, almost like a legitimate science inside this world. And this is just genius. Look at how they break it down for us. It's a logical, step-by-step process. Step 1, the subject goes into a trance. Step 2, a facilitator asks questions. Step 3, the answers come out. See, it's not just random magic, we're watching a clear procedure unfold, which makes it feel so much more believable.
All right, so the investigation is underway. And this is where things start to get really, really creepy. We're in the revelation phase now, where the source of the problem is finally going to get a name and a history.
This timeline, this is basically the heart of the whole mystery. It visually connects something that happened way back in the 19th century directly to the problem today. The haunting isn't random. Nope. It's an echo from the past, a spirit whose mission started over 100 years ago. This gives the threat some serious weight.
And then comes this line that just changes everything. The motivation is suddenly defined as possession and control. Whoa. The stakes just went through the roof. This isn't just about a spooky ghost anymore. This is about a predator.
And this right here, this is the moment the floor drops out. The threat is no longer some historical concept or a story from a past life. The danger is now in the present moment. It's in the room.
The facilitator, Roger, asks the one question we're all thinking. And notice how the scene just pauses here, building that tension by making us wait for the answer. It's such a simple trick, but man, is it effective. And the answer? Oh man. It's delivered for maximum impact. Just one word. Yes. No fluff, no details, just a stark, terrifying confirmation. The shortness of it is exactly what makes it so chilling. Chills, right? This is the moment the entire dynamic flips on its head. The investigation is no longer a one-way street. The thing they were looking at is now looking back. It's not a passive observation anymore. It's an active and very dangerous confrontation. I mean, just look at this shift. The entire game changes in a split second. Before that sudden thud and the dog growling, the entity was just a memory. The investigation felt safe. But after, it's an active presence. The investigation is now incredibly dangerous. And the threat, it's not abstract anymore. It's right there in the house. So, what now? Where could they possibly go from here? Well, the final part of the scene shifts focus. It's not about diagnosing the problem anymore. It's about finding a solution. An alliance against this thing is starting to form.
After all of that absolute terror, it all boils down to this one crucial question. It's really the question of hope, isn't it? Is there a way out? Can this terrifying thing actually be stopped?
And there it is again, another one-word answer. But wow, does this one hit different? Where that first yes was a payload of dread, this one delivers a fragile but really powerful sense of hope. It completely flips the emotional tone as the scene comes to a close.
But it's not going to be simple. This final quote sets the terms perfectly. There's hope, sure, but it's going to be a fight. This line just perfectly sets the stakes for the bigger conflict to come. I mean, think about it. In one scene, we've gone from mystery to investigation to a confirmed threat, and now finally to an alliance forming to fight back.
You know, when you really get down to it, this whole meticulously crafted scene isn't just about a ghost. It's about the terror of isolation and the power of finding someone who gets it. It leaves you with this really powerful question, doesn't it? When you're facing a fear that no one else can see or understand, maybe the most important weapon you have is just finding someone who says, "I believe you."